This video will go over the process for entering miscellaneous receipts in HDS Win and also briefly explain how the receipt will be placed in the most recent open batch for that cash receipt location. Miscellaneous receipts are any receipts that cannot be tied to a specific tenant's account or ledger. First, to take a receipt, you must pull up the option, Tenant Accounting, Tenant Ledger Receipts and Adjustments, and then select the Misc Receipt option at the bottom. This will take us to the miscellaneous receipt entry screen. Here we must first choose the program to post this receipt to, and also the cash receipt location we want the receipt to be placed in. Here I'll choose Public Housing, and we will stick with the main location. Like any standard receipt, we must enter in a receipt date and enter the amount of the payment under the correct form of payment with a check money order reference number if applicable. And we'll just keep that with today's date. And we'll just say that this is a $400 check. And we'll say the check number was 1234. Next, we can choose to apply the receipt amount to one of our miscellaneous receipt codes. And if necessary, we can add a new code for this specific type of receipt. Generally, you should only add a new miscellaneous receipt code if it's a payment for something specific that will be used again. If this item being paid for is not something you would normally deal with, you are best using the standard miscellaneous receipt code, as it can become confusing or downright untidy when you have a bunch of miscellaneous receipt codes that have only ever been used once, and they're for a lot of specific things that no one would ever need or utilize. And we'll apply our 400 under the standard miscellaneous receipt code. And once the receipt has been applied, we can enter any necessary comments and then save the receipt when we are finished. In the next screen, we have the option to preview or print our receipt and select a specific printer, or even make it the default printer when entering receipts. Once you finish printing, and I'm just going to hit preview here because I don't want to actually print it out, you're brought back to the tenant ledger lookup screen, and our receipt is created. By selecting MTD receipts, you can choose to view all the receipts in a given cash receipt location, filter by batch, or filter to only show miscellaneous receipts. And there's a receipt I did previously, and there's the $400 receipt we just did. This is useful when you need to reprint a miscellaneous receipt without creating a new receipt, and we can do that by just clicking on the receipt and hitting print receipt. And there we can pull this receipt up again if we actually wanted to print it back out. And this is really the only way to reprint a receipt you've taken previously without creating a brand new receipt in the system. Also, MTD receipts is the only place where you're able to void a miscellaneous receipt. And you can do that by simply selecting the receipt and hitting the void button at the bottom. We can now view the receipt in its deposit batch by selecting the batch report option at the bottom. And a receipt will always be placed in the current open batch for that cash receipt location. If no open batch exists, it'll create a new one. The previous batch I had was closed, so it just put it in a brand new batch. And there's our receipt with our check number. For more information regarding receipt batches and the batch report, please refer to the batch report and reassign receipt batch videos.